We're getting there. We can fight tomorrow, but we still got a little more sharpening to do. Then we're gonna be ready. So
the media said that none of that matters because I'm here now.
I don't know, but I don't give a. So I feel I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position. I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
Canelo's words carry the weight of a champion walking into the fire on September 13th. His confidence is unshakable, certain that under the bright lights, he will conquer Crawford. Even Joel Diaz, coach of Dmitry Bivol and Israel Madrimov, didn't hesitate when asked. Canelo should win. I see him beating Crawford by a convincing decision. There's no way Crawford beats him. For Diaz, the outcome feels inevitable, as if Canelo's hand is destined to be raised. He's seen Canelo up close, knows his strengths and limits, and made it sound as if Crawford's best weapons would bounce harmlessly off Canelo's armor. This fight, Diaz insisted, isn't about chances, it's about levels. And in his eyes, Canelo's level is untouchable. Then Diaz shifted the conversation beyond the ring, raising the stakes for boxing itself. Canelo is the king of the sport, and business-wise, he can't lose. If Canelo loses, boxing loses prestige. But don't get me wrong. Crawford is one of my favorite fighters, pound for pound the best of this era. In Diaz's framing, Canelo is not just defending his crown, but the pride of the sport. A defeat wouldn't just scar his legacy, it would ripple through boxing itself. Crawford earned his respect as the finest of his generation, but Diaz's conviction never wavered. Canelo cannot lose. From there, Tom Loeffler, former promoter of Gennady Golovkin, stepped in with his opening thoughts. He spoke with the excitement of a man who knows when a fight is truly special.
I mean, nothing more needs to be said about Canelo Crawford, two icons fighting each other, but when you have two young guys that are undefeated, both big knockout records that aren't going to run, both very confident, they wouldn't have taken the fight if they didn't think they were going to win. And it couldn't be on a bigger stage than the co-feature at Allegiant Stadium on Netflix. So we're really excited about it. This is the type of fight that Dana was saying that the fights need to happen at the right time, not 5 years past the due date. And like His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh was saying, this is definitely not a Tom and Jerry type of fight. These guys are going to come out there and bang, and I think the crowd is going to love this fight for sure.
For Loeffler, this isn't just another fight. It's two giants colliding on the biggest stage possible. He described it as perfect timing, not too soon, not too late, with both men fearless and willing to put everything on the line. His tone carried the thrill of a spectacle fans will never forget. In his eyes, September 13th promises nothing less than fireworks. Still, Loeffler shifted focus to Canelo's current state, acknowledging the changes with age but refusing to downplay the danger he brings.
Canelo has definitely slowed down since those fights, but even with that, he's still a tremendous force in boxing. Big body puncher, physically very strong, great timing as a counter puncher. So you can't take anything away from Canelo, and Crawford has one of the best boxing IQs in the ring. So it's a great matchup. It's one of those fantasy matchups that people always talk about, and they were able to make it happen for this show here, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Even with time creeping in, Loeffler reminded everyone that Canelo remains a monster inside the ropes. His power, timing, and strength make him dangerous every second of every round. At the same time, he praised Crawford's brilliance, pointing to his unmatched ring IQ. By elevating both men, Loeffler gave the fight the aura of a dream matchup, fantasy turned reality. He broke down the clash of styles, highlighting how their respective strengths collide in pure technical contrast.
I don't want to take anything away from Canelo because Crawford has a really high ring IQ, but so does Canelo. Canelo's more of a counter puncher. He sets traps. Crawford, I have to give, with his boxing ability, his hand speed, his foot speed. Canelo physically, I would say, is a little bit stronger. He can kind of impose his will on it. It's such a great matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if either one were to win.
Loeffler's eye for detail sharpened the picture. He described Canelo's ability to trap opponents and punish them with counterpunching precision. Then, he painted Crawford's speed, mobility, and intelligence as the perfect foil. The balance in his words created uncertainty. Either man is capable of destroying the other. It's not a one-sided story, but a razor's edge battle. From there, he turned to experience, stressing how big stage battles shape a champion.
He's been on this big stage before. I think people kind of dismiss him a little bit with that last performance that he had over there in Riyadh, but when you have an opponent like John Skull who's not going to engage, it's really hard to look good against someone like that. So I would give the edge to Canelo because he's been in that position.
Canelo, Loeffler argued, has the edge under the brightest lights. Critics may dismiss him based on recent fights, but Loeffler pushed back, reminding fans how hard it is to look great against opponents who refuse to engage. He hinted that Crawford will face a very different Canelo, one hungry to silence doubters and prove himself again. The fight, Loeffler suggested, is more than skill versus skill. It's ambition colliding with experience. And with that, he touched on the hottest debate of all, the weight factor.
I don't think the weight is as big as a lot of people are saying because Crawford probably walks around at that weight. Probably only has to drop a couple pounds, but you know, he's the type of guy that can easily put on the muscle and the mass and use his hand speed, his foot speed to box. So I just think that if Canelo is able to impose his will and throw the body shots and throw some counter punches, I could see him, edging out a win on that.
Loeffler's take cut through the noise. Weight, he argued, isn't the insurmountable obstacle many believe it to be. Crawford has already been walking around near this size, so the jump may not shock his body. The real test will be how he applies speed and skill against Canelo's brute force. In Loeffler's vision, the fight could be decided by body shots and counters. Whichever man imposes his style will seize control. That brought him to a weapon that could tilt everything, Canelo's devastating body attack.
The body punches. He's got some great, either a counter punch to the head or he's got some great left hooks to the body that really are effective. So he can easily wear you down. So that I think that's what Crawford has to look out for is those tricky body shots that Canelo throws.
Loeffler spoke of those signature Canelo shots, punches that don't just hurt, but break opponents down round after round. His left hook to the body isn't just a blow, it's a game changer. Against Crawford, it could sap his speed, dull his timing, and open doors for Canelo's offense. Loeffler's tone left no doubt Crawford cannot afford to take those punches clean. The suspense deepened, leaving fans to wonder, can even a genius like Crawford survive that punishment? From there, Loeffler shifted to strategy, outlining the traps Crawford must avoid to have a chance.
I would agree with that. Crawford has to be really careful with those body shots. He definitely can't get lured into a firefight. He's going to lose, if it's a back and forth type of situation, that's not where Crawford wants to be. He wants to stay on the outside, use his his speed, his skills, and really, I see him boxing Canelo. Now, if he hurts Canelo, then he can go there and start going toe-to-toe, but Canelo's the type of guy you don't want to stand in front of that guy because he really can start to pick you.
The warning was clear, a firefight with Canelo could spell disaster for Crawford. Trading shot for shot would strip him of his biggest advantages. For survival, he must stay outside, lean on speed, movement, and intelligence. Loeffler's words felt less like speculation and more like a blueprint. Crawford would need to fight nearly perfect, round after round. And still, Canelo's power lingered like a shadow, ready to break through at any moment. Meanwhile, Canelo spoke with the calm pride of a man who knows exactly what these nights mean.
He's one of the best fighters for more fun. He accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always...
His voice carried a steady certainty, the kind that comes only from a fighter who has conquered everything before. He reminded the world that these are the clashes that define boxing, nations, styles, and pride colliding under the lights. For him, this stage is bigger than belts, it's about legacy. Yet there was mystery in his tone. This fight will push boundaries in ways no one has seen before. It's going to be different for him. Different in every single thing. We'll see how he handles that. The words hinted at surprises, as if even Crawford's brilliance might find itself in unfamiliar territory. It was a reminder that no fight at this level is routine. The real question hung in the air: what breaks first, skill or composure? And then, Canelo turned his fire outward, calling out the kind of fights fans hate, and promising the kind they'll never forget.
Good fight, you need both fighters. Boxing is you throw, you get in there and move your waist, move around a little bit, but throw punches, get in there. That's boxing. But when you have one fighter like we saw with the skull, like running and running, that's not that kind of fight you want, right? And it's very difficult to close that waist and everything. You close him, he jump right away. It's very difficult. What kind of style?
Frustration cut through his voice. He spoke of opponents who run, spoil, and rob the sport of its essence. Canelo made it clear this will not be another dull chess match. He demanded action, risks, and roars from the crowd. His words were more than complaint, they were a promise. This fight must deliver. And with that fire, he gave Crawford a nod of respect, believing he is built differently.
I hope not. I think Crawford is not that kind of fighter. He's a different. He boxes, and I like it.
That respect was real. Canelo suggested Crawford won't run, won't deny the fans the war they came for. He hinted this clash will be fought in the trenches, not on the back foot. And that respect carried weight, because when two proud men refuse to retreat, violence is inevitable. The crowd, he seemed to say, will get exactly what they paid for. From there, Canelo went deeper, speaking about discipline, motivation, and the mindset that carries legacies.
Bravery and discipline. So together is big, and it's very different mentality. You know, I was the same mentality with William School, but I was in another country and this and that, very different. But this is different. You can feel it right away, and you know how big is this, how important is this for my legacy.
You could hear the seriousness in his tone. This wasn't just another payday. It was a defining chapter. Legacy, identity, pride for Canelo, this fight touches them all. Every word made the night feel larger than life, as if victory meant more than belts. Then he stripped it back, reminding the world of the truth he's always carried.
My training, obviously, but I won't like that. I'm special. That's what I know. I knew this since
It was raw self-belief, unshakable, unforced. Even with critics circling, his confidence sounded natural, like greatness has always lived within him. There was an edge, a warning, in his voice. He sees himself as unique, untouchable. Chilling and inspiring all at once. And when Canelo speaks like that, you believe him. Still, he didn't forget to sharpen his focus, offering Crawford respect while delivering a clear warning.
Be very focused and be careful. Anybody can carry it, but if you're smart and you know how to box and everything, very...
His tone revealed balance, a fighter aware of the risks, but unmoved by them. He reminded everyone that skills alone don't beat experience, intelligence, and composure. That is his armor. Crawford's talent was acknowledged, but Canelo stood firm, confident that his mind and patience will decide the night. He closed with respect, giving credit to his opponent, but ensuring his own conviction rang just as strong.
Oh, we'll see. But what I know is he's a good fighter, very smart fighter, and very disciplined. He needs to get credit for that. But I am...
Canelo spoke with rare honesty, praising Crawford as smart, disciplined, and worthy of admiration. But in the same breath, he reminded everyone that he, too, carries those same qualities. The balance of respect and confidence made the matchup feel even more dangerous, as if two mirrors were about to collide, each reflecting greatness back at the other. The moment carried an unmistakable weight. Something monumental is on the horizon. Yet not everyone believes Canelo will be the one to walk away victorious. Abdul Khan, who has sparred with Crawford, offered a very different perspective.
The best fighter in the planet, in my opinion. He's just so disciplined and dedicated, and I feel like he will beat Canelo. I think he'll win on points, and I think he'll be a good shot-out win, to be fair, and I feel like he's the best in this generation.
Khan's insight didn't come from watching Crawford on a screen, it came from standing in front of his speed, timing, and skill. That first-hand experience gave his words authority. With conviction, he described Crawford's discipline and sharpness as unmatched, portraying him as a fighter destined to rise above. For Khan, this wasn't wishful thinking, it was certainty. Crawford's greatness, he believed, would be revealed inside the ring. Meanwhile, Crawford's coach, Bernie, broke down the hidden weapon that truly separates his fighter, his mind.
Has the experience, Crawford has the know-how, the willpower, the mind, the IQ, which we keep saying that, but I don't want to understate that, the IQ, you know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. He knows how to take the best away from each opponent that he's had, and that's a testament to his IQ and to his boxing.
Bernie spoke of Crawford's ring IQ like it was a blade sharper than any punch. He explained how Crawford studies opponents, strips away their best weapons, and forces them into his rhythm. It wasn't hype, it was cold analysis from a man who has watched it unfold time and time again. His tone left no doubt, intelligence can overwhelm brute strength. In Bernie's view, Crawford already sounded 2 steps ahead of Canelo. He leaned into the mental side of the fight, insisting that Crawford is already living with victory in his mind. Preparation, he said, isn't just physical, it's belief transforming into reality.
Like I said, you know, Crawford had already made it up in his mind. He had already seen the victory. He already seen what he had to do. He's working and getting in shape. He's in shape to execute his game plan. You know, we definitely went over a couple of things which Canelo brings to the table to watch out for. But other than that, you know, he knows how to make adjustments on the fly. He knows how to do what he does, do what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Crawford brings to the table. He knows how to do whatever it takes to win, and that's what we're banking on. That's what we.
You could hear the conviction in Bernie's voice as he described Crawford training not just to fight, but to win. His confidence wasn't blind. It came from discipline, from adjustments, from the ability to adapt in real time. He reminded everyone that Crawford has mastered the art of doing whatever it takes. The message was simple: when you face Crawford, you face a man who refuses to accept defeat. His words painted Canelo's challenge as something different, a storm unlike anything he's faced before. Crawford, Bernie warned, is coming with a hunger that cannot be denied.
I think the same way for him too. You know, it's almost like I say, he was on his Mayweather tour. You know what I mean? Where he's on autopilot. You know, he didn't have nobody to really test him and really put and really to get up for after Triple G the second time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that nothing to really to prove the people wrong against. You know what I mean? He didn't have that opponent. So, you know, this time, you know, he's going to try to save his reputation. He know he's going there with a speedier guy. He's going there with a dog. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you look in Crawford's eyes, you know, like he say, I'm different. I'm coming to win. Those guys didn't come to win. And I feel like even if Crawford, like I say, you got to be cautious if you get caught with a hard punch, but Crawford knows how to take that away from him. And that's not going to take nothing away from Crawford. Crawford's not going to shrink because he get caught with a good punch. He's still going to go there to win. The whole object is to win. However we got to do it, he's going to win. He's going to get his hand raised. That's what's going to happen. And if it get froggy in there, Crawford is coming. That's it. That's how Crawford is. You never seen Crawford shrink.
There was no hesitation as Bernie spoke of Crawford's resilience, a fighter who has never backed down, even when hurt or tested. He described eyes filled with determination, a will that bends but never breaks. Canelo may bring power, but Bernie insisted Crawford knows how to neutralize it. This fight, he argued, isn't about surviving, it's about ensuring Crawford's hand is raised. His words gave the clash an edge of inevitability, as though destiny was already written. He pointed again to Crawford's adaptability, the trait that keeps him from ever being trapped by one style or one plan.
I feel like Crawford got a better rhythm in southpaw, you know? I feel like he throw harder punches than orthodox, but I feel like he got a better rhythm in southpaw. You know, arch your ego. And so, you know, but like I say, it don't matter what we gonna do, whatever we gotta do to win. That's Crawford. He gonna do whatever he gotta do to win. You know, like us, you know, we can suggest everything, we can tell him to do this, do that, but he has the mind on his own and the experience to know what's going on in the ring. You know, we on the outside looking in, you know. So like I said, we didn't study him, we didn't went over everything that we know that he does, and only thing you can do is go in there and do your best with it. And the only person that can know what's happening really in there is those two guys. So You know what I'm saying? Crawford, he knows what to do to get the victory. That's it. If y'all can understand that, I want to.
Bernie explained how Crawford changes rhythm, stance, and tactics as naturally as breathing. In his eyes, the corner can guide, but inside the ropes, Crawford becomes his own master. Some fighters rely on muscle, Crawford fights with instinct sharpened by experience. His confidence in Crawford's ability to read and dismantle Canelo was absolute. And when all of it is laid out, one truth becomes clear: this fight isn't just about punches. It's about pride, legacy, and survival at the very top. Canelo enters with the confidence of a king. Crawford's camp believes his sharp mind. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.